They say a monkey was born from stone, a being who laughed in the face of the heavens. They say his eyes blazed like twin suns, his spirit unbreakable, his cunning unmatched. But what drives one to challenge the divine order? This is the tale of Sun Wukong, the Monkey King who defied gods and demons alike. By the end, you may wonder not if you understand him, but if you could ever hold the will to stand against the skies themselves. From the dawn of time, the heavens watched over a solitary stone atop the mountain of flowers and fruit. Basked in celestial light, this stone drank in the essence of sun and moon, stars and sky. One fateful day, it cracked open, and from it emerged a monkey unlike any other. Eyes gleaming with a primal intelligence, Sun Wukong took his first breath, not as a mere animal, but as a being destined for greatness. Among the other monkeys, he was swift and clever, leaping waterfalls and scaling the highest trees with ease. One day, he led them to the source of a roaring waterfall. "Whoever dares to pass through this curtain of water," he declared, "shall become our king." Without hesitation, he plunged into the cascade. He discovered behind it a hidden paradise, a cave filled with wondrous treasures. The monkeys cheered, hailing him as their king. In that moment, Sun Wukong felt a stir of purpose. Born from stone, crowned by his own courage, he embraced his role. As he gazed at his newfound kingdom's expanse, a longing for more than earthly rule flickered within him. It was a yearning that would set him on an extraordinary path. Days at the water curtain cave were filled with joy and mischief, but shadows lurked unseen. One quiet afternoon, whispers spread among the monkeys that a companion had closed his eyes and would not wake. Death had touched their paradise. Sun Wukong gazed upon his fallen friend, a chill gripping his heart. "Is this the fate that awaits us all?" he pondered aloud. The realization of mortality weighed heavily on him, a burden he'd never known. Fear flickered in his eyes, not just for himself, but for his entire kingdom. Determined to defy this unseen enemy, he gathered his subjects. "Hear me," he proclaimed. "I will seek a way to conquer death itself, to ensure our happiness endures forever." The monkeys cheered, hope rekindled. Without delay, Sun Wukong set forth, leaving behind the comfort of his realm. He traversed rugged mountains, crossed vast seas, and braved untamed wilderness. Along the way, he faced mocking spirits and daunting trials, yet his resolve never wavered. Under starlit skies, he contemplated the teachings of nature, seeking signs and wisdom. Tales reached him of ancient sages who possessed the secrets of immortality. "I will find them," he vowed, his voice firm against the howl of the wind. His journey was long and arduous, but with each step, his purpose grew clearer. Sun Wukong was not just fighting for himself, but for the future of all who depended on him. The path ahead was uncertain, but the flame within him burned brighter than ever. The quest for immortality had begun, and nothing would deter the Monkey King from his destiny. Sun Wukong wandered for years, crossing oceans and scaling peaks. Finally, he reached a secluded mountain where whispers spoke of an immortal sage named Subhuti. At the mountain's peak, beneath a canopy of ancient pines, he found the master. The figure, filled with serene grace, had eyes that held the depth of ages. "Why have you sought me?" Subhuti asked. "I seek the way to eternal life," Sun Wukong replied, bowing deeply. "Teach me to conquer death." The sage studied him for a moment, then smiled faintly. "Very well, but know that the path to immortality is fraught with hardship. Under Subhuti's tutelage, Sun Wukong immersed himself in the arcane arts. Days turned into months as he learned to harness the forces of nature. He mastered the 72 earthly transformations, enabling him to change form at will, becoming a bird, a tree, or even a drop of rain. With the cloud somersault, he could vault across the sky, covering vast distances in a single leap. His progress astounded even Subhuti. Yet with each new skill, Sun Wukong hungered for more. One night, the sage called him aside. "Beware of arrogance," he cautioned. "Great power carries great responsibility." But ambition burned bright within the Monkey King. He thanked his master and, feeling invincible, decided it was time to return home. As he departed, Subhuti watched with a mix of pride and concern. "The world is vast," he murmured. "May wisdom guide you where strength alone cannot." Sun Wukong leaped onto his cloud, the wind roaring in his ears. The horizon beckoned, full of promise and unseen trials. Armed with newfound powers, he felt ready to face whatever lay ahead. Little did he know, his journey had only just begun, and the true test of his character awaited beyond the horizon. Upon his return, Sun Wukong found his kingdom flourishing, yet something stirred within him, an urge to test his newfound powers. Hearing whispers of legendary weapons held by the Dragon King of the Eastern Sea, he decided to pay a visit. With a boundless leap, he soared across waves, descending boldly into the aquatic palace adorned with pearls and corals. The Dragon King emerged, astonished. "What brings the great sage to my domain?" Sun Wukong grinned. "I've come seeking a weapon worthy of my might." Reluctantly, the Dragon King presented a massive sword, then a halberd, but none suited the Monkey King. Frustration crept in until a courtier whispered of a mysterious iron pillar anchoring the sea. It was a relic ignored for ages. Eyes gleaming, Sun Wukong approached the Ruyi Jingu Bang. As he grasped it, the colossal pillar shrank, fitting perfectly into his hand. It responded to his thoughts, light as a feather, yet immeasurably powerful. The palace trembled as he swung it, waves surging outside. The Dragon King's scales paled. "Take it, and go in peace," he stammered. Sun Wukong bowed mockingly. "My thanks. Perhaps I'll return the favor someday." With the magical staff and a newfound confidence, he left the ocean depths. The world above seemed different now. It was not just a realm to explore, but one to command. The journey had changed him, and with the Ruyi Jingu Bang in hand, the heavens themselves would soon take notice. Returning home, Sun Wukong reveled in his newfound powers, but a restlessness gnawed at him. His exploits had not gone unnoticed. The Jade Emperor of Heaven grew wary of the Monkey King's rising influence. To placate him, Heaven offered a minor post, Keeper of the Heavenly Stables. At first, Sun Wukong accepted, eager to be among the divine. But the honor soured when he realized the position was merely a ploy to keep him occupied, a mockery of his true worth. Anger simmered within him. "Am I nothing more than a stable boy?" he fumed. Determined to claim his rightful place, he abandoned his post and returned to his mountain. There he boldly declared himself the great sage equal to heaven, a title of his own making. The heavens trembled at his audacity. Messages flew between the celestial courts. The Jade Emperor, reluctant to provoke a war, offered Sun Wukong a higher rank. Yet even this was insufficient. The Monkey King saw through their deceit and grew ever more disdainful. "Why should I bow to those who scorn me?" he challenged the wind itself. His pride and resentment fused into defiance. The harmony between earth and heaven began to fracture. In the clouds above, the gods whispered of rebellion. Below, Sun Wukong sharpened his gaze toward the celestial palace. The stage was set for a confrontation that would shake the very foundations of the universe. The heavens simmered with unease as Sun Wukong's defiance echoed through the celestial halls. No longer placated by empty titles, he proclaimed himself equal to the highest gods. The Jade Emperor's patience waned. He must be subdued, he decreed. Heaven's armies descended, armor gleaming like stars, but the Monkey King met them with a fierce grin. With the Ruyi Jingu bang in hand, he became a whirlwind of unstoppable force. The four heavenly kings advanced, wielding elemental powers. Earth shook, winds howled and fires raged, yet Sun Wukong danced among them, turning their might into folly. Erlang Shen, the valiant deity with a third truth-seeing eye, confronted him next. "Your arrogance ends now," he declared. Their battle shook the cosmos, each strike echoing across the realms. Yet, even Erlang's divine sight couldn't outmaneuver Sun Wukong's cunning transformations. Amid the chaos, the Monkey King infiltrated the celestial gardens. He plucked the peaches of immortality, guzzled the heavenly wine, and swallowed the pills of longevity. Laughter bubbled from him. Let heaven taste humiliation. Panic gripped the Jade Emperor's court. "He consumes our sacred treasures," cried the attendants. The celestial order unraveled as Sun Wukong's power surged beyond comprehension. Summoning all their might, the gods trapped him inside a ring of fire and magic. But with a flicker, he escaped, leaving them grasping at shadows. Desperation mounted. The Jade Emperor turned to the oldest power. "Fetch Buddha from the Western Paradise." As Sun Wukong stood amid the ruins of heaven's armies, a profound silence fell. From the western skies, Buddha appeared, a figure of calm amidst chaos. He regarded the Monkey King with gentle eyes. "Why wage war against the heavens?" he asked softly. Sun Wukong smirked. "Because I am their equal. None can restrain me." Buddha raised his hand. "Then let us make a wager. If you can escape my palm with a single leap, the Jade Emperor will yield his throne to you. Fail, and you must submit to divine judgment." Confidence surged within Wukong. Agreed. He leapt with all his might, somersaulting across galaxies. At last, he reached 5 immense pillars piercing the void. "I've crossed the universe," he proclaimed, marking one pillar with graffiti to prove his feat. Returning, he boasted, "I am victorious." Buddha smiled gently. "Look upon my hand." There, upon his finger, was the very graffiti Wukong had left. Realization struck. The 5 pillars were Buddha's fingers. Panic seized him as Buddha pressed his palm down, trapping the Monkey King beneath a mountain. "Let me out," Wukong raged, but to no avail. Buddha sealed him under the 5-element mountain, a prison forged of earth, fire, water, metal, and wood. There he remained, his screams fading into whispers. Time passed, and a quiet fell over his rebellious heart. The world moved on, leaving Sun Wukong to ponder the weight of his pride and the path that led him there. 5 centuries passed beneath the weight of the mountain. Sun Wukong, once vibrant and indomitable, lay confined, his spirit muted by stone and time. Seasons changed above him, whispers of a world he could no longer touch. One day, footsteps approached. It was a pilgrim in saffron robes, monk Xuanzang. Light pierced the shadows as the mountain trembled. "Who lingers beneath this rock?" came a weary voice. "I am Xuanzang, seeking sacred scriptures in the West," the monk replied gently. "Who speaks?" "A king bound by his own rebellion." Hope flickered in Wukong's heart. "Can you free me?" Xuanzang paused. "I can, but only if you vow to mend your ways and safeguard our journey." Freedom beckoned, but pride held him back. Yet the weight of solitude had been heavy. "I swear it," Wukong conceded. The mountain shuddered and crumbled. As Wukong emerged, a circlet of gold appeared upon his head. "What is this?" he demanded. "A talisman," Xuanzang explained. "It will tighten if you stray, a reminder to keep your promise." Sunlight warmed his face. The world was new, yet familiar. Beside the humble monk, he felt a stirring purpose. Together, they set forth toward the horizon, a renegade and a saint bound by fate. The journey had begun, and with it, a chance at redemption. The journey westward was fraught with perils. Sun Wukong marched beside Xuanzang, the humble monk whose quiet determination was a stark contrast to the Monkey King's fiery spirit. Together with Pigsy and Sandy, former adversaries turned companions. They traversed treacherous mountains and shadowed forests where demons lurked, eager to thwart their mission. One moonless night, eerie whispers threaded through the trees. A fearsome demon blocked their path, eyes gleaming with malice. "Hand over the monk," it hissed. Sun Wukong stepped forward, staff in hand. The battle was fierce, the air crackling with energy as they clashed. Yet victory came not only from his might, but from newfound restraint. He subdued the creature without extinguishing its life, a choice he might not have made before. As they continued, the trials grew harsher. Temptations beckoned at every turn. A golden palace appeared, filled with luxuries beyond measure. Pigsy eyed it hungrily, but Xuanzang whispered, "Illusions mask our true path." Sun Wukong nodded, seeing through the facade. "We've no need for such distractions," he declared, leading them onward. The bonds between them deepened. Pigsy's humor lightened their burdens, while Sandy's wisdom offered guidance. Sun Wukong began to understand the value of unity and trust, concepts foreign to his solitary past. One day, when Xuanzang was captured by a cunning enchantress, despair flickered in the group's eyes, but Sun Wukong rallied them. "We will not falter. Together, we can overcome any obstacle." They devised a plan combining their unique strengths. The rescue was daring, and as Xuanzang was freed, gratitude shone in his eyes. "Your growth inspires me," he told Wukong softly. Through countless ordeals, Sun Wukong grappled not just with external foes, but with himself. Memories of his rebellion surfaced, and the weight of past arrogance pressed upon him. Yet each challenge forged his spirit anew. Compassion seeped into his actions. Patience tempered his haste. One evening, under a tapestry of stars, he reflected aloud, "Once I thought power meant freedom. Now I see that true strength lies in protecting others." His companions listened, respect evident. The Monkey King's transformation was not sudden, but a gradual awakening, a shift from self-centered pride to selfless dedication. As dawn broke, they approached the next stage of their journey. Trials awaited, but Sun Wukong faced them with a steady heart. The stone-born king had begun to understand his place in the cosmos, not above others, but alongside them, and in that unity, he found a purpose greater than himself. As the journey neared its end, the weight of their trials pressed upon Sun Wukong. Standing at the threshold of the Western Paradise, he gazed upon the towering spires of the Thunder Monastery. Memories flooded him. The battles fought, the temptations resisted, the companions cherished. A stirring realization dawned. His journey had been not just across lands, but within himself. Inside the monastery, the Buddha awaited. "Welcome, great sage," he said softly. Sun Wukong knelt, not out of submission, but respect. "I've learned much," he began. "Power alone does not define me." The Buddha smiled. "And what does?" "Compassion, wisdom, the bonds we share." His eyes reflected humility and understanding. "Then you are ready." With a gentle touch, the Buddha lifted the golden circlet from Wukong's brow. The weight vanished, but its lesson remained etched in his soul. In that moment, enlightenment blossomed within him like a lotus. The heavens seemed brighter, the air sweeter. He had transcended his past. "Rise, victorious fighting Buddha," the Buddha proclaimed. Sun Wukong stood, no longer the rebellious monkey king, but a being of balance and grace. His journey complete, he embraced his new role, not as a conqueror, but as a guardian of truth. Back at the mountain of flowers and fruit, Sun Wukong sat beneath blossoming trees. Peace embraced him. His journey had remade him, not just a king, but a guardian of wisdom everlasting.